Thank you for joining us on the eve of Mobility Week as we unveil our first zero-emission, all-electric bus to go into Lynx operations. Mobility Week is a statewide celebration of promoting safer, more efficient transportation choices and an ideal time to think about how we can improve multimodal options to reduce traffic congestion and benefit the environment and improve public health. Exciting to cut the ribbon on Station 9 serving the Rosemont neighborhood. And along with being the home of some of the very best firefighters Orlando has to offer and having some of the best equipment, Station 9 was also built with firefighters' health and safety first and foremost. So the station was designed to promote diversity and inclusion in the workplace and includes private individual crew bunk rooms, showers and restrooms, and a secure room for special uses such as nursing.
Trailing Thoughts from Shingle Creek Trail. I've never seen more animals on a bike ride. Is that another water bird? They're like mini seaplanes. Imagine having the power of flight, only to spend so much of your day underwater. That's got to be really confusing and terrifying to the fish.
I remember very well, like 20 months, almost 2 years ago, Justin, our general manager, was meeting with the PKZ and the fantastic program of Black Bee Honey. We had a tasting in the other room over there. We loved the product, we loved the story, and we decided that right away we want to be partner with them. We want to be working with them and take the product to the next level and make it known to the public.
I've been waiting for this for weeks. I gotta tell you, I am so ready to do this. I even have the bed ready. What? So when you get home, we can get really dirty.
Gotta go. Hey! Here you go. With all this compost, we're gonna have the best plants in the neighborhood.
Good afternoon and welcome to the April 25th, 2022 regularly scheduled meeting of the Orlando City Council. We're going to begin today's proceedings with the invocation and pledge of allegiance led today by Commissioner Hill.
Thank you, Mayor. If we can all bow our heads. Most gracious God, we give you thanks for yet another opportunity to join together as leaders of this great city, the mayor and commissioners and staff and residents, as we continue the work that is before us. Thank you for life, dear God, and most of all for the measure of health that you have given each of us to be able to fulfill our respective duties. Bless this unified body today, as well as the agenda. Let our decisions be wise and our discussions meaningful for the good of all people. May our thoughts and conversation be led by only you, and bless each of us to operate with the spirit of joy, enthusiasm, excellence, and inclusion, to allow us to grow closer as a community. Bless our city, oh dear Lord, and most importantly, our citizens who depend on us to make wise decisions for all of us. Grant us clarity in our vision, ideas, and collaborative thoughts, wisdom to govern even amid conflict, and the ability to work together even when there's discourse. Bless us with strength and power to continue our mission to serve our community and constituents with dignity, pride, and respect. So thank you, Lord, loving God, for your continued blessings and the hands of protection over each of us. We truly honor you today and give you thanks and pray that your will be done, not our will, but your will, and that we do it in our city, the beautiful. In your dear name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Hill, and I'll now call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll and make a determination of quorum?
Commissioner Gray?
Here.
Commissioner Ortiz?
Here.
Commissioner Stewart?
Here.
Commissioner Sheehan?
Here.
Commissioner Hill?
Here.
Commissioner Burns?
Here.
Mayor Dyer?
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum with all members present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First order of business is consideration of minutes from the workshop
So
agenda
moved.
review and city council meetings of April 4th. Motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Sheehan. All in favor indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, Mayor's update. First, I would like to welcome members of the student government from Blankner Elementary School who have joined us today and have been touring City Hall and conducted a faux council meeting up on the 9th floor, and they're here with us for about 30 minutes. If you guys would please stand, we'd like to welcome you. Other items aren't as happy. On behalf of the entire City Council, I want to offer our condolences to the family, friends, and the Orlando Fire Department for the passing of Lieutenant Anthony Felix. Lieutenant Felix served our community since 2003 and was known for his kindness and compassion. He'll be missed. If we just observe a moment of silence. Thank you. On brighter things, on Wednesday, we will have the grand opening of the Grand Avenue Neighborhood Center, which is replacing the historic Grand Avenue Elementary School. We'll have a gym, a new location for the pottery studio, expansion of a number of our youth programs. So I would encourage citizens that would like to tour the facility. Saturday, April the 30th from 10 to 3, we will be doing facility tours, youth activities, raffles, and more. Speaking of celebration, the Downtown Orlando Partnership is hosting its 33rd annual Golden Brick Awards on Tuesday, May 3rd at the Dr. Phillips Center. And We will be honoring Thomas Chapman, our Executive Director of our city's DDB and CRA, who this year is the Downtowner of the Year. Thomas, are you out there? Is he here? Nope. Okay, we'll honor him in any event. And also, we continue to have accolades for many of our different city employees. Chief Orlando Rolon has been named the Outstanding Chief Executive of the Year by the Florida Police Chiefs Association. Congratulations, Chief. And then one item of note that I would like to point out is A5, which is a funding for the Come Out with Pride 2026 bid funding agreement. We hope to bring Come Out with Pride. We actually want to bring World Pride. Our Come Out with Pride committee is bringing World Pride to our city in 2026, and that's the biggest international Pride festival. It's held not every year, but generally in years where something significant has occurred historically. So 2026 will be the 10-year mark of the Pulse tragedy, where we will be honoring the 49 victims and their families and survivors, and I can't think of a better way to do that than to bring World Pride here in 2026. With that, we're going to move on to the consent agenda, which is a number of items that are acted upon through a single vote of council. We give each of our commissioners an opportunity to comment on the consent agenda and items of importance from their districts. We rotate the order we do that. Commissioner Hill is first up today, Commissioner.
Thank you, Mayor Dyer. And welcome, Blankner Student Government. And also want to do a special welcome to, I heard we have a guest, Mrs. Corrine Searle, who I work with her father quite often here in the city of Orlando in our district. So welcome. Your father does great work here and helping build the city. I also want to extend my condolences to the Felix family. And another, Mayor, I'm certain you know, we lost a great community partner from Orange County, Mr. Lonnie Bell, yesterday morning, a District 3 resident from the Rosemont area that helped Commissioner Stewart quite often. He has been a mentor and friend and confidant to me for over 30 years, and I am going to miss him sorely, and he'll be missed. On Thursday, April the 7th, my team and I joined the What's Up Downtown historic walking tour and experienced firsthand the rich history found here in downtown Orlando. We went from the Crest Building with owner Mark Line, and also they walked with Ms. Pamela Swartz from the Orange County Regional History Center. On April the 12th, I was privileged to be alongside Mayor Buddy Dyer to kick off our Summer Youth Employment Program there in downtown District 5 Paramore Creative Village. Through the partnership of CareerSource and ViStar Bank. And we also invited local businesses that can still assist us to provide employment opportunities for youth from the ages of 15 and 19 through our summer program. You can contact our Recreation Department and our Youth Job Program Director, Reginald Burrows. The youth there will be starting off at $14 an hour. They will be getting hands-on experience and network and learn financial literacy and money management. And as always, it was humbling to be around Mayor Dyer, which gave us a little history about himself in his first summer job. I started off my first job at making $2.15 an hour, and I always joked about that until on April the 12th when I heard how much Mayor Dyer started off making youngins, and that was 50 cents an hour, and it was a most humbling job, and he was helping his dad shovel cow manure, which now he helps the city with this. And he just continues to impress me by his many hats that he has worn. So, Mayor, there's still hope for all of us from your humble beginnings to where you're at now.
I bet everybody else had better first jobs than mine.
You outdone us all on that one. On Wednesday, April 13th, I joined Mayor Dyer and Commissioner Burns at the 5th Annual Mayor City of Orlando's Iftar Dinner, where we were able to experience Ramadan with them and the breaking of the fast. It was attended, it was a sold out, well, it wasn't sold. I don't think the tickets were sold. There were invitees from the mayor, and it was a full house at the Orlando Museum of Arts. On Saturday, April the 16th, I joined Commissioner Ortiz. Where's Tony? Oh, I don't see him.
I'm here.
Oh, you're there. Oh, okay. We're getting ready to miss this.
I'm listening.
So I was, as we all know, that.
Go easy on me, because I'm not there.
But you see it, right? You're looking. So, Chief Rolone, because of the aggressive community engagement and closing the gap with neighborhood policing initiatives that we have under Chief Ralone's leadership and his community police officers, they went out to work with our recreation department, and they put 6 teams together throughout our district, and the officers were the coaches. But when they became coaches of these kids here in each district, they were building relationships. Originally, Mayor, they did not know they were police officers, and so they created that bond. And here on Easter weekend, they had a tournament over at Inglewood where each team played. We were there, started around 9, ended about 3, and then there were only 2 teams left after the competition. And so, but there was one team wrapped together between District 1, Citrus Square Youth, and Inglewood Youth, and just heart-fought games throughout. Kids had a great time, very competitive, but only one was left standing. And of course, that was District 5, and we brought home this beautiful baby from our Paramore Kids Zone, which was, no, it was only District 5 Kids Zone. I'm sorry, Commissioner Burrs. But it was just a great day, a lot of fun activities, a lot of bonding. Parents was there, well engaged, and I had a great time. I became a coach also. I got really into the game, running up and down the sideline like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to win. But a special thank you to Lieutenant Matt Cusio and Officer Blake Broodhurst that really worked with these kids. And I even saw how this does make a difference. It was more than a basketball game. I believe trust was built, bonding, and friendships. And I look forward to this continued action. And thank you to my community liaison, Richard Patterson, in the back there, that helped coordinate with Lieutenant Matt and Officer Blake. So thank you, Patterson, for all that you've done for this event. On Sunday, April 17th, and I don't know how long I get to sport this trophy around City Hall, but it will sit here for at least a month at the entrance of the doors where the commissioners enter to go into their offices. So Sunday, April 17th, I co-sponsored Easter egg hunt with Giving Hope Again and the Butterfly Transformation Organization there at Zio Raleigh Park. We had about 100 kids from Paramore Oaks and throughout that area that attended, and they did activities and Easter egg coloring and had a great time. On Tuesday, April 19th, I worked with BBIF, which is the Black Business Investment Fund, who the city helped sponsor to help small businesses of any ethnicity throughout the city of Orlando. And we had a virtual workshop that helped with financial management, budgeting, and investing for small businesses through the leadership of Carlin Johnson. Thank you, Carlin, for putting that together. On the 19th, as you know, the city is now in the midst of redistricting, and we had our District 5 redistricting meeting. A big thank you for all those that are serving in their prospective places for each commissioner, and a special thank you to Roger Chapin, who is chairing this committee and did a phenomenal job. It was well attended, and all of our residents' questions were answered there at the end, and things are looking good with our maps. On Friday, April 22nd, I was able to join, along with Mayor Dyer and Commissioner Stewart, and I think I saw Commissioner Burns come in also, where we hosted, Commissioner Ortiz hosted many electeds from Puerto Rico, and it was great food and camaraderie. Thank you for your leadership, Commissioner Ortiz, in the Puerto Rican Parade Elected Officials Luncheon. On the 22nd, oh man, something phenomenal happened in downtown District 5, City of Orlando, where I was fortunate to join Mayor Dyer with the grand opening of the Trophy Room. The Trophy Room is owned by Marcus Jordan, which is the youngest son of Michael Jordan, and they have decided to create a sneakerhead shop with urban apparel here in downtown. People from around the country, sneakerheads from around the country, flew in to that venue, which is there at the Mondero, and it mimics the Jordan estate, where many of their Christmas dinners and Thanksgiving dinners, and where they hosted many great people there in their trophy room, as Michael Jordan called it, which was has all of his replicas, all of his tennis shoes and awards, and they've brought a piece of that here in downtown Orlando, and that's something that we want to see more of here. And it when it comes to economic development, inclusion, and diversity, it was, as Mayor Dyer said, it was a vibe, and it really was. I just really enjoyed it, and we welcome them here. Joined Jimmy Williams on the 23rd. There in the Paramore area, where we are focusing on mental health awareness, and there was many community partners, and we really appreciate them for that. On the 23rd, we were there, as we call the Jewel of the West Side, Lake Larned Park, where we hosted the Metro Orlando Panhellenic Council Greek Week. Commissioner Burns is a Greek, he's Omega. We had the Omegas and all type of sororities and sororities there of African descent there that converged, about 300 attendees in that park, and had a great time. A huge thank you to the Mercy Drive Kid Zone that brought kids out, and they were our District 5 ambassadors and did a great job hosting that prestigious group. I was fortunate also to be asked to be a guest this past Saturday at the Seminole County Boys and Girls Club there in the Markham Woods community at the estate of Frank and Brandy LaPalo. We were able to raise close to $60,000 for 3 Boys and Girls Club there at Seminole County. And yes, why am I at Seminole County? Because children matter no matter where they're at. And the Boys and Girls Club has been a great partner to this city. I personally have 3 Boys and Girls Clubs in District 5, one at the A School, one that me and Commissioner Burns share in the Carver Shores area of that University Studio sponsor, and our newest one there in the West Lakes, Left Orlando area. So I'm really excited to partner wherever I can with the Boys and Girls Club and the continued great work that they do to make sure children that are disadvantaged have a safe haven, but also a great future with the many different activities and things that they have for youth relationships. And with that, Mayor, that's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Burns.
All right, thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, fellow commissioners. First, I'd like to say welcome to the Blankton students. Thank you for being here. Hope you enjoy this time you have with us, as well as the tour that you took of City Hall. Also, I'd like to express my condolences to the family of Lieutenant Felix, and just thank them for their support of him and sharing him with the city of Orlando. Also, I'd just like to acknowledge the passing, as Commissioner Hill mentioned, of Mr. Lonnie Bell, a true community champion, but a real champion for our families and children. Mr. Bell was also working on agreements with between the city and the county to ensure that all of our youth had access to the community recreational resources, regardless if they lived in the city or the county. So he will be missed. He was a mentor and a friend of mine for many years as well, and I'd like to express my condolences and prayers for his wife and the rest of their family. On this past Saturday, my office hosted our second annual Jazz in the Park at Eagles Nest Park in District 6. It was a great time. We had, we also gave away $1,000, $500 apiece to the Richmond Heights, to our voluntary neighborhood associations. The first two were Richmond Heights and the Isles of Catalina. Also, we focused on local talent. We wanted to make sure that we highlighted our local talent, gave them a platform to share their talents with our community, but also give them an opportunity to get paid as well. So we thank you for all the you who came out, also for our musicians, our singers who did a great job. Also, I'd like to share, we launched our I Heart District 6 t-shirts. So commissioners, mayor, if you would like one, just give me your size and we'll make sure. But also on the back, I want to show this the listing of all of the great communities in District 6. So if you want one, just let us know. Also, earlier this year, my office started a series of walking tours of our neighborhood with code enforcement, public works, and OPD to address the areas of concern in our community. This past week, we toured Holden Heights in preparation for the grand opening of the Grand Avenue Community Center. So I'd like to say thank you to Susan from Public Works, Jason from Code Enforcement, and our van driver for the day, Connie from FPR, for joining us as we tackle the issues of our residents and the issues that our residents brought to our attention. From curb improvements to trimming trees to illegally parked vehicles, and we've developed a action plan to improve the community. So if you're watching and wondering when will we be in your community, don't worry, our next tour is coming up in May, and so we'll let the residents of that community know. Also, I'd like to thank Chris Castro and the Greenworks Orlando for putting on a great Earth Day celebration last week. While I couldn't attend, I want to commend our city for being a leader in sustainability efforts to make our region a better place for all. So thank you, Chris, and your team for what you do. As Mayor Dyer mentioned, I'm excited as we approach the ribbon cutting of Grand Avenue Community Center this week. This center will be the city's best, and I can't wait for us to show it off to the residents. So thank you to the mayor and this council for continuing to push the city forward by creating new and innovative spaces that will meet the needs of all of our constituents. Also, as Commissioner Hill mentioned, I'd like to say thank you to the Multicultural Affairs Department and for their highlighting the contributions of our Muslim American community in Central Florida at this year's Iftar dinner. I want to wish those observing this holy month of Ramadan Mubarak, especially in the last 10 days known to be the holiest to the Muslims. So, Mayor, on the agenda, just want to highlight a couple of items. I want to express my support for item A1 and say thank you to all of the citizens who have elected to volunteer and serve our city on these various citizens advisory boards. Also, support for A5 to come out with Rural Pride 2026 bid funding. So we're hoping that we do land that as well. Also for A6, I'd like to express my support for the licensing agreement between the City of Orlando and Feeding Children Everywhere. This program will allow the city to connect residents in need of food assistance with organizations who provide such services as food, housing, education, healthcare, and financial stability. Also, last but not least, I'd like to acknowledge and congratulate the organizations for F1 through 11, all of the nonprofits who will be awarded CDBG funding to further their mission and address many of the societal ills that plague our growing diverse communities. Thank you, Mayor. That completes my remarks.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Gray.
Thank you, Mayor. I feel a little out of sorts here, Roy and I do. That trophy is so big, I think the dais is a little tip, but congrats, Commissioner Hill, well done. Activities in District 1 are on my website, both past and future, so if you need anything there, or call my office, and that's all I've got. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Ortiz.
Mayor, I'm going to yield my time to Commissioner Stewart.
All right, Commissioner Stewart.
Thank you, Mayor. Let me take the next 45 minutes and talk a little bit about what's going on in my district.
He's not really going to.
No, I wouldn't do that, but I do appreciate y'all's time. Let me share a couple of things. And thank you, Commissioner Burns, for your comments about the social service agencies, those receiving grants. That's an important part of what we do. Many of y'all know that I had worked for a long time with one of the local agencies. And I think it's an important part of how we take care of our community. I also want to express condolences not only to Lieutenant Felix, but also to Lonnie Bell and his family. Lonnie, I've had a chance to work with him. I can't remember not knowing him. So, and I know he worked in many areas in the community. I know he worked on several boards with you, Mayor. He's going to be missed in our community because of his commitment to children, commitment to families. And I'm going to miss him. Let me also say a special thanks to Lisa Early and her team this morning. Had a great presentation. I love doing the workshops because a lot of what we see here we need to share with our community, and having the workshops recorded and being able to share those is important. And so it's a good chance. Also, it gives a good analysis of where our city is, where the community is, and the great things that we've done, especially under your leadership, Mayor. So thank you very much for that. I still want to say thanks to a special thanks to our Redistricting Committee. They have done yeoman's work, and they still have some more work to do before they bring back the redistricting recommendations. But they have been very open to the community, looking for input as well as being fair across the board as best I can tell so far. But they are doing hard work, and it's one of those things that reminds us how important it is for us to engage the community. And along with that, on today's agenda is some board recommendations that we will approve. Robin Tretto for the Certification Appeals Board, Mark Engel, Yolanda McCoy for the Citizens Review, and Avery Donati. Those are the District 3 representatives that we'll be approving today. But every time we do this, I want to share and remind people that cities run because people in the cities help it run. It's an opportunity for people to come get engaged in committees, and the committees really mean something. And so we're very grateful for these volunteers who make our city run, and I am so appreciative of them to accomplish that task. And all those also we're going to approve today. I just want to give a special shout out to those from District 3. A special thanks to Commissioner Ortiz and the work he did with the local Puerto Rican parade. I got a chance to watch it on TV. It's all part of it. And it was really a great turnout, I thought. And had a chance to spend some time with some of the elected officials from Puerto Rico and make a connection to a couple of people that I have know down there. It's really neat to be able to do that, and honored to have them up here. And Mayor, I appreciate your leadership in making sure that happens. I also want to remind people that on Wednesday night, the Mexican national team is going to be playing at Camping World Stadium. This is their first appearance here since 2015, and I'm looking forward to working with the Mexican consulate to get the information out and to work hard to make sure this is we show the world that we are a soccer city coming into the World Cup final recommendations. Along with the upcoming events, The Audubon Park District cleanup will be on Saturday, May 7th at 9 a.m. Contact Sean Hips for more information. Ivanhoe Village is doing a special cleanup called Cleanup for a Cause over in the Ivanhoe Village. It's coordinated with Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, which is kind of neat. You pay $25, and what you get is T-shirts, and you get a chance to go out and do some work. It's kind of a neat little idea, but the neatest part is the bottom corner says, "First we clean and then we drink." I guess that's the only way to get people out. So if you're going to charge them $25, you got to give them something to get them there. But I'm really excited. It's really neat seeing these partnerships, especially how they impact our community. Back to School Day is over at Audubon Park K8 on May 4th. Looking for that. Meet over at the Lou Gardens at 8 o'clock. I have a chance to do that. It'll be fun. Speaking of Lou Gardens, free admission on Mother's Day. So if you want to take a walk with your mom, please come out to Lou Gardens. I think you'll have a great time over there. And then Bank of America has museums on us. If you have a Bank of America credit card, you get to go to the museums for free coming up, and then even the Orlando Science Center. And then the last but not least is Family Fun Day at the Manila Museum. On the agenda, I've mentioned a couple of things already, Mayor, but I too want to express my support for the World Pride, come out with World Pride Day. I think it is an important signal that we send to the community of who we are and why it's important. And I think this is a great opportunity to send that signal to show that communities can take tragedy and turn it into something that's greater. And I am so honored, and what a great way to honor those that were killed that day, is to make sure that we don't forget them and continue to move forward. So with that, that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner, and Commissioner Sheehan.
Thank you, Mayor, and I want to thank Blankner students for coming, and I know you might have a track meet, so if you all need to pop out of here, let us know. We won't take any offense to it, but thank you. You got a few more minutes? Okay, thanks. But thank you so much for being here today. It was lovely to spend some time with you. I also would like to offer my condolences to Lieutenant Felix's family as well as Lonnie Bell's family. It's been a rough couple of years, and then to have all these losses of these great people from our community, it's really kind of tough. But we wish them all the best, and faith is what keeps us together on all these through the difficult times. I saw that OUC is talking about a rate increase because of our dependence upon oil, and thought it kind of interesting that we have our power companies disincentivizing solar, which makes sense. At the same time, they're going to pass on rate increases to their customers. And they do it with a straight face, which is kind of ridiculous, because as a solar person who has rooftop solar, to be told that I might not be compensated for the solar that I generate is ridiculous. And I've been fighting with OUC over the last course of the year, and now they tell me that they want to do a rate increase, and I'm like, you guys kidding me? I've been saying that solar is the way with the future. You need to be incentivizing solar. We need to be not disincentivizing solar. And now they want to do a rate increase because of foreign oil. I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous to me. But again, I'm going to keep saying that solar is the way with the future. We need to be doing clean energy. I'm picking up my electric car tomorrow. I'm doing my part. And I just wish that, that we would not be disincentivized at the state level and doing these things that make sense for our community, that's good for us. So anyway, very frustrated with that, but hopefully I'm going to keep talking about it and working with Congressman Darren Soto. I'm really hoping that we can get a federal preemption of the preemptors, so that we can get a federal solar rights bill, because that's where we need to be going in this community, so that we can save solar power, which makes sense for our world and our community, and not have these folks doing things that are very much a disincentive to not just the solar industry, but to clean energy altogether. It's just absolutely ridiculous, and then they come and want to do a rate increase with a straight face. It's just appalling to me. On the agenda today, and I also wanted to recognize Officer Eddie Rosado, who does a great job. He's on duty today, but he does a wonderful job for all of our residents in District 4. Shout out to Officer Rosado. On the agenda today, on item A4, Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, Urban Community Farming. I think this is a great program through Greenworks. I came here from the Florida Department of Agriculture, so it's kind of exciting to me to see the Fresh from Florida marketing money come down to our communities. Urban Incubator Farm, apiary beehives for the kids. That has been so successful in your district, Commissioner. So I love seeing the community gardens. I love seeing all of this coming down to the local level from the state. So I just think it's a wonderful opportunity, and it's great to see that coming from my alma mater, basically, because like I said, I worked for the Agriculture Department for 12 years prior to being a commissioner. So it's just kind of a lovely way to kind of, cycle of life kind of thing for me. And also, I'm delighted, of course, to see the World Pride Funding Agreement. I was the first openly gay elected official in Central Florida, and I used to have to fight for these things, and now to see my colleagues support it. Mayor, it's great to see this happening under your leadership. And I can't, if we want to be a progressive city, we have to uplift and support all of our residents, and this is just a great way to do it, especially when it will be the 10-year mark of the Pulse Massacre. I just think this is a great bid for us to bring this here, and it's going to be a great economic development, but I just, like Commissioner Stewart said, I think it sends a great message to the world that we are an inclusive, loving city, and we treat people fairly and with dignity. So again, it's a really great opportunity, and I hope that we do end up getting the bid. And something else on the agenda that was really cool, adding 160 acres to Wetlands Park. If anybody hasn't been out to Wetlands Park, it's a wonderful, wonderful place. It's our water reclamation area, but it also has a lot of wildlife. It's a great purchase and a wonderful facility and a great addition to Wetlands Park. So everybody that worked on this 160 acres, what a great purchase, and just an absolutely amazing opportunity. And also we have the Eola Sunday Market waiver. That's been a great amenity to Lake Eola Park. I'm very proud that we host that, and it's just been absolutely great. So I'm glad to see we're going to continue with that. And with that, Mayor, I will move the consent agenda.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Stewart. All in favor indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, hearings, ordinances, second reading, number 1, Madam Clerk.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, amending the city's adopted growth management plan in accordance with the city's 2022 Water Supply Facilities Work Plan, amending Objective 1.3, Policy 1.4.2, and Figure PW-3 of the potable water element, providing for severability, correction of scrivener's error, and an effective date.
Who made the motion?
Yeah, Burns made a motion.
Burns, so
Okay.
moved.
Motion by Commissioner Burns, second by Commissioner Hill. Madam Clerk, is there anyone to testify on this matter?
No, Mayor.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Number 2, Madam Clerk.
Ordinance number 2022-16, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, designating certain land generally located east of Narcoossee Road, south of Falcon Park Boulevard, and north of Central Florida Greenway, State Road 417, and comprised of 67.28 acres of land, more or less, as planned development on the city's official zoning maps, providing a site plan and special land development regulations for the planned development, providing for amendment of the city's official zoning maps, providing for severability, correction of scrivener's error, permanent disclaimer, and an effective date.
Okay, before I accept a motion on this, the staff has asked for additional time to review transportation impacts of this proposed PD. So if there's no objection, we're going to postpone this item to the May 16th City Council meeting. Is that okay with everybody?
Motion to do that?
No, we can just do it by no objection to it. Okay, let's move on to number 3.
Ordinance 2022-23, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, amending chapters 58 and 60 to update outdated references to the growth management plan, and amending chapter 59 to implement recent changes regarding the city's Vision Zero safety goals, road level of service standards, and mobility strategies, providing for findings, severability, codification, correction of scrivener's error, and an effective date.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Burns. Madam Clerk, testimony?
No, Mayor.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, we're going to be spending the rest of our time doing exactly what we're doing right now, so if you guys would like to sneak away, that would be a really good time to do it.
Thanks, Blankner. Thanks for coming to visit us.
Okay, number 4, Madam Clerk.
Ordinance number 2022-24, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, amending Chapter 61 Orlando City Code to address outdated references relating to requirements for roadway design, access management, on-site improvements, and parking and loading requirements, providing for findings, severability, codification, correction of scrivener's error, and an effective date.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Burns. Testimony, Madam Clerk.
No, Mayor.
Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? And the motion carries. Number 5.
Ordinance number 2022-26, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, annexing to the corporate limits of the city certain land generally located east of Conway Road, south of Cove Drive, and north of Judge Road, and comprised of 4.72 acres of land, more or less, amending the city's adopted growth management plan to designate the property as industrial on the city's official future land use maps, designating the property as industrial park with the aircraft noise and Conway Road special plan overlay districts on the city's official zoning maps, providing for amendment of the city's official future land use and zoning maps, providing for severability, correction of scrivener's error, permit disclaimer, and an effective date.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner Stewart. Madam Clerk, testimony.
No speakers, Mayor.
Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, and so the motion carries. Okay, let's move to ordinances on first reading. Number 1.
Ordinance number 2022-28, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, annexing to the corporate limits of the city certain land generally located north of Hoffner Avenue, east of Conway Road, south of Simmons Road, and west of South Cimarron Boulevard, and comprised of 23.33 acres of land, more or less, and amending the city's boundary description, amending the city's adopted growth management plan to designate the property as office low intensity, residential low intensity, and conservation on the city's official future land use maps, designating the property as a low intensity office residential low development, and conservation zoning districts with the aircraft noise and Conway Road special plan overlay districts, in part, on the city's official zoning maps, providing for amendment of the city's official future land use maps and zoning maps, providing for severability, correction of scrivener's error, permit disclaimer, and an effective date.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner Stewart. Madam Clerk, testimony.
No speakers, Mayor.
No speakers. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Number 2.
Ordinance number 2022-29, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, relating to accessory dwelling units and historic preservation zoning overlay districts, amending Chapter 58, Part 3A to provide a cross-reference for accessory dwelling units and historic preservation districts, amending Chapter 62, Part 7 to allow accessory dwelling units up to 700 square feet to be approved by certificate of appropriateness, providing legislative findings and for codification, correction of scrivener's errors, severability, and an effective date.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Hill. Madam Clerk,
No speakers, Mayor.
discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. And number 3.
Ordinance number 2022-30, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Orlando, Florida, amending the Eola and Church Plan Development Zoning District, providing for amendment of special land development regulations for a portion of the property generally located east of South Eola Drive, north of Mariposa Street, and south of East Church Street, comprising 1.46 acres of land, more or less, providing that prior ordinance is still in effect, providing for permit disclaimer, correction of scrivener's error, severability, and an effective date.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Sheehan, second by Commissioner Hill. Madam Clerk,
No speakers, Mayor.
discussion. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, so the motion carries. All right, Ed, could you get us prepared for general appearance?